Hello and welcome to Talkin' Toxic. I am your host, Chelsea Hearn, and I am glad to have you listening today. Today is an impromptu, unplanned, I had something else planned for today, but however, what is going on today online and in these support groups and on YouTube, this viral mess, I had to come on and make an episode to call this asshole out. And to also let people know that follows this jerk and that listens to him and thinks that he is the perfect man. You need to listen. You need to understand that this guy has done nothing but gaslit all of you, everybody, for years. His name is Derrick Jaxn. If you Google him, you need to respell his last name because he's hacked his own last name. I didn't Google too much because I don't want his fuck ass trolling through my algorithm. I don't want him showing up anywhere because I don't want him on my feed. This morning, going through, like I always do every morning, going through the support groups, just throwing out some advice here and there, trying to help as many people as possible understand narcissism and abuse and just try to give some people some guidance. This has been going on all morning, that this guy, Derrick Jaxn, who has 700 and something subscribers and falling fast as of today, right now, is a self-proclaimed perfect black man. Says black men don't cheat, is married, and he goes around projecting, and I'm going to use that word because when we get into this, you'll find out what projecting is, if you don't already know. Projecting everything that he is. Downgrading men, not willing to even understand who he's even talking about, and blaming everything on women. This guy has been the relationship guru, now turned to absolute bullshit narcissist guru. He is completely busted and exposed these past couple days. He has cheated on his wife over 200 times, over, that we know of. That's being exposed. I have listened to video, audio, seen pictures, so I have done my homework before I jumped on here, and that I decided to vocalize this. When you go around talking about people in general, men in general, and downgrading men in general, and claiming that you are the perfect man, that should be red flag in its own. Nobody is perfect. There is no perfect man, there is no perfect woman, and this guy wants to make a career, build a platform, go on speaking engagements. He has written, I think, maybe 2 books, and here's the gist of it all. He is a full-blown textbook narcissist that is exploiting his wife, that is exploiting and projecting all of the behavior that he shames he is doing, has been caught doing, and blames it on God. That's another thing that just really lit my fire this morning. I had to speak on this. I wanted to react to his video of him reacting to his admission of cheating. First of all, that video with his wife sitting in it, if you recognize narcissism or abuse like I do, you don't even need to hear the words. You can look at his wife and know things are not good. You can look at the death grip he has on her hand and know that that is not a cuddly, affectionate stance. And what really pisses me off is when he wants to bring God into it. Bring God into it constantly. And clearly has her doing the same thing. Their video looked totally rehearsed. She looks dead in the eyes, and I'm sorry, but this guy is exploiting his wife, exploiting everything he's done to make money to go play his tricks on his wife. So for those of you that are donating and buying his books and going to his speaking engagements, congratulations. You are supporting the mistress's good times. He's spending that money flying women places, sleeping with women in his own bed that his wife sleeps in. And when you want to throw God into the mix, let me just say a few things, okay? Lying is a sin. Cheating is a sin. Idols is a sin. And when you have the balls to blame God for your discretions, you are the devil. He has, and it's on audio, you can research it, his word says, when I gave my life to Christ, my life fell apart. No, motherfucker, when you started cheating on your wife, that's when your life fell apart. When you decided to stick your dick in other people and then tell the rest of the world that cheating is terrible and that you would never cheat and real men don't cheat, that's a fucking problem. You are a textbook narcissist. And going back to the video, okay, so this asshole does a video with his wife, not even considering the backlash she would get, okay? Because I've heard a lot of people have contacted her and she's having to come. This guy doesn't give a shit what his wife is going to endure while pulling her on camera and telling everybody what he's done to her. Not once, not twice, but over 200 times, okay? Put a pin in that real quick, because I want to go over to the fact that he is sitting there exposing her all for money. All for money. All for the clout. All for the likes. All for the monetization. Listen, I started a podcast to help people, okay? I don't care if I ever make a dime. This is what God called me to do. Since the first day I walked into church, this has been pulling on my strings for years. I spent 14 years with a narcissist. For those of you who have asked in comments and some of my other threads, somebody asked me if I'm a professional. What's a professional? I'm an expert on a narcissist. 14 years with narcissistic abuse, followed by therapy with a cognitive behavioral therapist, followed by 8 years of studying narcissists. Makes me an expert. And yes, I can speak on this. And I will speak on this. I try to keep my composure. Going back to him bringing God into it and cheating. Listen, you cheat on your wife, you cheat on your partner, your husband, whatever, once. Yeah. Grace and God and truth and therapy, like, people can get over that, and that's okay. You could do that, but you don't go on YouTube and expose everything just for the dollar, just for the next speaking engagement. You also need to work on yourself. This is the thing that really gets me, is because I've been doing a lot of research this morning before I decided to pop on here, watching other women that he's cheated with, videos, audios. One girl won't state her name because she's afraid of him, but this guy has cheated with over 200 people. Okay, so one person, yeah, you can fix a discretion, but over 200, let's face it, you are a malignant narcissist. You don't give a shit about your wife. She is your trophy, she is your fallback, and she is your disguise. You want to hide behind your wife? Great. But when you sleep with over 200 people, how many babies did that produce? I bet you you have kids out there that your wife don't know about. And I bet you, because I heard the proof, that you have demanded someone get an abortion. I'm sorry, but Last time I read the Bible, abortion's a sin. You know what? I've just had enough of this guy talking about he's the perfect man, talking about how great he is and how women, it's all women's fault and all men are disgusting. You have issues. And the biggest part, which showed me, I'm like, oh my God, this guy. Let me tell you something. A textbook narcissist talks in third person, okay? They do that because when they're not getting enough praise, they can praise themselves. So if you watch his follow-up video of him and his wife talking about how he's cheated and how he's taking, accountability for it all and all that nonsense and all that bullshit, he backs it up with another video analyzing himself. It's still, that is so textbook narcissism. It is insane. He's rolling a video and then analyzing himself about it, talking in third person, telling people how people shouldn't put him on a pedestal. Really, dude? Really, dude? Okay. When you talk third person, you're deflecting from your own actions. Okay? Third person, there's certain administration that does this or did this because they're now censored. But when they go up there and they talk about how great they are in third person and how wonderful they are, it's a grandiose behavior. It's a grandiose attitude that you are better than everyone else. And that's not the fact. So, first of all, don't bring God into this. Okay? These are your decisions. And I'm speaking to Derrick Jaxn. And if you want to come at me, let's go. I got your number. I have no problem in analyzing you live in front of people and making you feel, because that's how big you are. Sometimes my words, I can't, even with this guy. I'm just trying to figure out how to tie a bow on this piece of shit and wrap this up. Just don't follow this guy. And if you do, follow him for exactly what he's saying is exactly what he's doing. Follow this guy that if you want to learn how narcissism works, if you want to learn how they project, if you want to learn how they act, you follow Derrick Jaxn. If you want to actually hear from a narcissist's mouth about this type of behavior, listen to my previous podcast that says From a Horse's Mouth. If you go follow Lee Hammock, he is a self-aware narcissist that will explain this guy's behavior to you and me. He's done it to me. My therapist has done it to me. I get it. But what I want others to do is to get it. I want other people to take their narcissism goggles off and be able to see it and call it as you see it. It's so important. Gaslighting, like this guy is the perfect gaslighter, not the perfect relationship guru. He is the perfect narcissist. I just had to bring attention to this because there's no way in hell that people that are following him now, that are now seeing him exposed, that are now seeing him, all the receipts come out of all of his infidelity. I just hope that you learn and that you take what he says and put it into your own life. Narcissists will never love you the way you expect. Narcissists have a personality disorder. His poor wife Now, like he says, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And I would love to see those videos of him trying to make up with his wife. Why aren't those exposed? Why aren't those videos viral? I'll tell you why. Because he sat there and gaslit her and love bombed her. She's got trauma bond, I'm sure. I don't care what kind of relationship you're in. But if someone cheats and steps out of your marriage and steps out of your vows, it can be repaired. I'm not saying it can't. I personally wouldn't, because for me, once a cheater, always a cheater. But that's not necessarily true. I don't speak for everyone. But when it's over 200 times, you're accepting this. And I see in the video that she's back with him, which means he told her everything she needed to hear. And now the problem is, because he's a narcissist and she's back with him, she's okaying everything he did. She's going to have to live with that. She's going to have in the back of her head, she's never going to trust him. I don't care who you are. Someone cheats on you 200 times or more, you're not going to trust them again. And what kind of marriage is that? And the thing about cheating on someone 200 times, it just goes to show that he didn't care about his wife. He didn't care about the other women. All he cares about is himself and his next nut. That is a true textbook narcissist. They only care about themselves. I've had so many questions. I've seen so many posts over the past couple days, maybe because I spent way too much time in the support groups trying to help people. But so many people have these questions of, well, when we go to therapy, he'll be better, or like, when will he ever change? And, you know, I'm trying to think of a specific one that I saw this morning that I was just like, listen, love, because this is the way it is. This was my response. I don't even remember the exact post or question. Sorry, I'm doodling. But my advice to her, and this is to anybody else listening that either believes this asshole or has an asshole or a narcissist gaslighting them right now, they're only telling you what you want to hear to satisfy them. Once you accept their behavior, their indiscretions, to them, that's saying, oh, it's okay by them, so I'll do it again. This Derrick Jaxn is not done cheating. This Derrick Jaxn is not done being a narcissist, because he can never change that. But what he is done doing is lying to the public, because now the public knows. I just take a deep breath for a minute, because I could get on a rant, I can go crazy, and I don't want to. But here's my answer to that post I was describing. My answer to her was, until you realize, until you understand that you expecting a normal response in a regular situation, it's not going to be normal. When you're dealing with a narcissist, they don't think like normal people. They don't process things like normal people without personality disorders. So for you to expect them to love you like you love them, to love their children like you love your children, to love their family, to love their friends, normally, they're not. They have a personality disorder. So the more you accept and the more studying and the more knowledge that you have, because knowledge is power, the more you understand about narcissism and narcissists and the way they function, the more you will be less acceptive of the bullshit. The more you will be more cognitive of the way they think, and the less you'll react. Because when you react to a narcissist, it's like an aphrodisiac. If you go back to my last episode with From the Mouth of a Narcissist, he explains that. The more yelling is a turn on. So the more attention you give a narcissist, the more it fuels his ego or her ego. And what's happened with this Derrick Jaxn is he is a full-blown textbook narcissist that is using his platform, his wife, his mistresses for just that, to completely boost his ego. And every book he sells, and every appearance he's at, and every subscriber that subscribes, and every like that likes is just boom, is blowing his ego up more. He's got the fattest boner, which is why he probably is fucking everything in between. Stop buying his shit. Stop listening, unfollow, delete, block. Narcissists do not deserve a platform to make money, to then turn around to use to jet set their mistresses, pay for abortions, cheat on their wives, hotel rooms, vacations. That's what you're paying for. That's what he is doing. That's what he is using. He is using his platform and his narcissism to fuel his narcissism, to live the most grandiose narcissistic life possible. Ta-da! That's how they work. Love me more, me. It's all about me. It's me. And they love to flash shit and brag shit and fake shit and lie shit. So of course, when some mistress gets flown to Miami for 4th of July weekend while their partner that they're with, their wife, is in another state with their children, of course they're gonna love that. Who doesn't want to jet set around the world? Who doesn't want to afford every party they can get into? Who doesn't want that status? This is what this guy is doing, and I think his status should be stripped. So I'm calling him out. Other podcasts have called him out. Charlemagne the God had called him out this morning. I am so down with everything Charlemagne the God said. Dude, just go away. And for those of you listening that listen to him or follow him, like I said before, do yourself a service. Delete, unsubscribe, block. This guy should not have a platform to make money, to be the devil, to cheat on his wife, to have set up such an awful life for his kids. Now this is all audio, this is all on video, and his kids can go back and watch this now for the rest of their lives. Good job, Derrick. Good job. I think I'm done ranting. I will be posting my Q&A Tuesday, probably tomorrow. I recorded it yesterday, but I wanted to, this just a little, horns came out this morning when I saw this. So I just had to give my little opinion on it, my take on it, my warning to those of you who don't know him. And don't go searching for him. Don't give the algorithm more power. Take the power away from this cheating, disgusting narcissist. Take it away. So that's all I have to say for today. If you have any questions, Derrick, you want to come at me, feel free. I got you. Anybody else? Follow my Instagram, Talking Toxic podcast. You can follow my personal Instagram at Chelsea Lee Hearn. I have a Facebook page, a like page, Talking Toxic. I have a community that if we want to talk about this more in depth, I just opened up. I don't think there's anybody in there yet because it just opened, but feel free if you can find it, add yourself, we'll talk. And just on a better note, on a higher note, because this is a new podcast, I am running a launch giveaway. I'm giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to a couple people. All you have to do is subscribe to this podcast, give me 5 stars, and then head over for a bonus entry and follow our Instagram page. Follow my Instagram page. In the bio, there is a section that you could submit questions to me. There's just one link in the bio, but that will be changing. You click the link, it brings you right to a blank form that you could submit your questions, and I will answer them on Q&A Tuesdays. Also, in that bio, is going to be changing shortly, but the link to submit questions will be there. On that Instagram account, that's where I'll be announcing the winners for the Amazon gift cards. That's where I'll be posting episode updates. Also, I will start having my digital resources loading in. I'm doing all this myself in between working, all this tech stuff, editing, everything's just all me. But I have some great resources, some free, some paid, and they will be housed on the Instagram, the Talking-Toxic podcast. In the bio, that's where these programs, resources, guides, downloads, free downloads will live. They're not there yet today, but they will be soon. So if you don't see them today, check back. If you're listening to this podcast, I don't know, a week later, it's probably there. But just so you know where to look and find things, and I really appreciate anybody for listening and sharing this podcast with anybody else. I just striving to expose toxicity and try to help people get the fuck out, man. Life is too short. Life is too short to live in a toxic life. You need to love yourself, know your self-value, and love yourself. Get out of a toxic life. I did. It's great. Have a great day.